Hey guys, JSimLady here. Welcome back. Today I am building that same house that I built 2 weeks ago now because life has just been lifing like crazy around here lately. But I think it was about 2 weeks ago at the time when this video goes up. And I tried, okay. We'll get to that in a second. The goal, because I've seen a few other people do this on YouTube now, and I haven't actually watched their videos to see exactly how they do it. I just saw like the title and the thumbnail, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give that a shot because I've seen a few of them do it now, and I thought it looked interesting. The the I totally lost my train of thought. I have so much sinus pressure right now, right at this particular moment. I was good most of the morning, and then all of a sudden my sinuses just like intense pressure just out of nowhere. It's annoying. Anyways, I lost my train of thought, but basically I built a house in The Sims 1, and I have this idea for how I want it to look in The Sims 4, but obviously The Sims 1 and The Sims 4 are vastly different games. And so it looks pretty terrible in The Sims 4. I know what it's gonna look like in The Sims 4. And I should have probably not done it that way. I thought of it in backwards order. Like, this house would be really great in The Sims 4. Now let's deconstruct that and work from The Sims 1 to The Sims 4 with this house already in mind, right? So the one in The Sims 1 looks even worse than it probably would otherwise because I was basing it on a house that I think will look good in The Sims 4. The Sims 2 version is not terrible. It definitely could have used some work on the back end, but it's not terrible. Like, you can kind of see it coming together, kind of see what my plan had been, and how I wanted it to look in The Sims 4, in The Sims 2. And that's one of the biggest things that I felt. Like, I've played all these games. I've been playing The Sims since 2000. I don't remember exactly when in 2000. I think it was mid 2000, so like around the summertime. But I've been playing The Sims like religiously since the year 2000. I was gonna say the early 2000s, but no. Since the year 2000, I've been playing The Sims. So, but even so, I had to relearn all of this stuff. And because I only dabbled a little bit in them when the 25th anniversary rolled around, I didn't really put a lot of time or effort into them that I remember of. So I had to relearn again. And as you could see, I made a huge mistake. I forgot that the advancement between The Sims and The Sims 2 was massive. And it was absolutely massive. Like, you don't understand even now, just looking at it or playing it yourself now, the massive advancement that we felt as players back then when it happened. Like, there were so the Sims 1 was nothing. It was a game focused on keeping Sims alive for as long as possible. That was it. That was like the main goal of the game. Manage their lives for as long as you possibly could, right? The Sims 2, a whole different kind of game. Completely different kind of game. You can't even truly really legitimately do a legacy challenge in the original Sims. I mean, you can, but the Sims literally all live forever. There isn't much challenge to it. They don't die of natural causes. You can kill them in fires and stuff, but they don't die of natural causes. There is no aging. And in The Sims 2, they have life cycles. There is aging. And so you're no longer just playing to see how long you can keep a sim alive for. You're playing through lives and generations and all that kind of stuff. And on top of that, you have this huge advancement in building. It went from just give them the basics that they need, a few different options so they don't get bored, and call it good. But by the time The Sims 2 came around, they realized that we liked building. We liked decorating. We liked having all these different variations and options and everything. And so you see this massive increase in building and decorating and all of that. Like I know I just keep going on and on about it, but like the games, these first two games couldn't be more different if they tried. There wasn't as much advancement moving forward after The Sims 2 as there was between the original Sims and The Sims 2, if that makes sense. But for my personal experience, it was hard, and I forgot a lot of this. So this took me longer than it probably should have, and it's getting better. It's looking somewhat better. It's not great yet, but it's definitely looking better than The Sims 1 looked. Also, I think I might have used potentially the wrong size lot, but, and here's another major change between the two games, the scale is wildly different. Like, you can't even imagine how very different the scale is just looking at this part of the house. When we get inside and you see the scale of the furniture versus the tiles, the little squares of where you can place things, the scale is so different than The Sims 1. And the placement of things, I don't know, it was weird. It was weird to go directly from The Sims 1 into The Sims 2 in a 2 week time period. But yeah, I think this one actually turned out kind of decent. I mean, for The Sims 2, this isn't bad, honestly. I think it actually turned out kind of cute. I do wish we could move the mailbox and the trash can. And I do think that there is a cheat potentially for that, but I don't remember. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I have not used any cheats. I don't even know what the cheats for the original Sims and The Sims 2 are. Like, I know the money cheats, but that's it. I don't know if there are any other kind of building or decorating cheats because I never used them ever. I just always liked the way the houses were, and honestly, during The Sims 2, the routing issues, or maybe it was The Sims 3 now that I think about it. It might have been The Sims 3. But the routing issues for The Sims were so massive. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I do believe it was The Sims 3, and I do believe they have a move objects on cheat. And I vaguely remember them kind of telling people not to use that cheat. Kind of like what happened in the early years of The Sims 4. Don't use the move objects on cheat because your Sims can't route. The moving objects out of the grid cause the Sims to have problems. So yeah, I tried to, between the two houses, I tried to keep everything basically the same. So if there was a sort of modern dining chair in the dining room, I tried to go with that same style exactly if possible, because there were a couple of things that were very similar between the two games. But if I couldn't find the same style, I tried to at least stay within the same sort of realm of decorating, if that made sense. So if it was like more country, I tried to stay more country. More modern, I tried to stay more modern with it, that kind of thing, you know. um, there was more overlap in furniture than I thought there was, but almost nothing was identical, if that makes sense. But I decided that while I'm gonna try to keep everything as identical as possible, and actually I decided this while I was working on the little backyard shed back there, the the options in this game are really weird. I don't know. Like, there was nothing for gardening. At least I couldn't find anything. Like, there was no winemaking thing, which I feel like has basically shown up in every version of the game except this one. And if it's there, I couldn't find it. But there was like no beehive thing and no canning state. There just was not the same like activity type things that is in the original Sims. And when we get back to the Sims 3, we'll be in there again. So I decided that where it was applicable, I guess, I would add new items that were just available in that game. So for example, this game had cars. The original Sims didn't, and so I didn't even bother thinking about it. The Sims 4 doesn't either. So it didn't, even register at first. But when I started building this, I'm like, oh, wait, this game has cars. Maybe I should fit that into the build somehow. Does that make sense? So I added a driveway and a car into the build. I didn't change other stuff around it. I just kind of added it in, if that makes sense. So, and like the gardening stuff wasn't nearly as much. So I ended up doing other stuff in the little maker shed thingy instead of, what was it that I did in the original? There was the bee thing outside, and there was the, oh gosh, what did the winemaker and the canning station. They don't have any of those in The Sims 2. They barely focused on gardening at all, it feels like, in The Sims 2, which is really weird to me looking at it now, all these years later. I didn't even feel or realize that difference, or if I did, I don't remember it. But that was a long time ago. Also, I kept this slow, and I didn't keep the original Sims 1 build quite as slow. I probably could have sped this one up a little bit faster, but I purposely kept it on the slower side so that you could really feel what it was like to build and decorate. But yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say before and then totally lost my train of thought on again. This sinus pressure, it's like, it's really messing with my head. I don't plan on using any cheats because I don't even know if there are or what cheats would have been available for the original Sims and didn't use them. And even if I had used them, there isn't a lot of stuff. Like, there just isn't a lot of stuff. The game is incredibly small compared to The Sims 4. So, I plan on not using cheats. Like, for the most part, I do plan on keeping everything as very similar as possible. All 4 games. So I don't plan on using any cheats. That's what I was gonna say before, and that's why I originally brought up the cheats. Because I didn't use it in the first one, I'm not gonna use it in the rest. And some things, now that I'm remembering, had to be changed simply, again, because not the scale so much changed, but because what they made them into changed. So, like, dog beds in the original one, they were all 1 tile. There were no 2 tile dog beds. But with The Sims 2, there was a 2 tile dog bed. I can't remember if there's a 1 tile dog bed or not, but there is a 2 tile dog bed. And so I use that, which kind of caused me to have to ever so slightly rearrange upstairs. And like this spot here, there are not display shelves. Like, there are for community lots, but there are not collection display shelves in The Sims 2, which makes me think The Sims 2 is also not focused on gardening. We established that already. But also not focused on collecting things either. I don't remember the original Sims being a collection driven game either, but they had display shelves for collectible items. So there must have been some collectible system happening there. And The Sims 2 just didn't have that, like, at all. So does that mean there's no collectible system in The Sims 2? The Sims 2, the more I think about it, is wildly different than all the other games in the series for its focus and stuff. Anyways, yes, doing these builds has really, really, really made me want to play these old games again. Is that weird? Let me know down in the comments if you'd rather see me do videos of them here on my main channel, or you'd rather watch me do them on live stream. I have had a crazy schedule lately. It's spring. Just everything has been chaotic, but at the time of posting this video, I should have at least attempted to start live streaming by this point. Fingers crossed everything goes well and everything. I should have attempted to live stream by this point. Right now, at the time of making this video, I am only live streaming on Twitch because even though my internet was fixed back here, I just, the whole restream thing became a mess even outside of my internet connection. Like, I was having issues with Restream itself too, and staying connected and stuff to my account for some reason. So I think that's like a whole other technical thing that I'm gonna have to look into, why I keep getting logged out of it constantly. But yeah, for now it's just Twitch. I will definitely be bringing back my YouTube live streams on my second channel, more JSimLady, but that might have to wait until like maybe May or June or something like that. Maybe I'll do a few just random test streams to see how well it goes and to see if I can stay logged in longer. Maybe it was my internet causing the problems, and that's why I was having problems staying connected with Restream. I don't know, but I know that people like having options, and I like giving you options, so I'm definitely going to be working on that issue next for sure. And aside from this darn sinus pressure that I am experiencing, my health hasn't been terrible. Like, I had a rough week. The week that I'm actually recording this video was a pretty bad week, but that was menstrual health issues, not my disability health issues. You know what I mean? So it was a whole other beast to be messing around with. But yeah, that's never fun. Like, I don't know how many people want to hear this out there, but like, since I went through puberty and all that, I get very, very ill every month, or I used to get very, very ill every month with severe, ending up at the doctor, flu symptoms every single month. And as I got older, it eased up quite a bit, and there for a long time it was very, very intermittent. So, like, I would experience it for a couple of months and then I wouldn't for 6 months, and I'd be, relatively okay. And lately it's been kind of more of an issue again, where I just get really bad flu like symptoms every single month. So, like, severe body aches, back pain, fatigue, muscle like spasms, even nerve pain, which is really weird, but I guess it's normal. Like, some people just unfortunately experience that time of the month like they are getting the flu. So, yeah, not fun, but it's a rough week, and then I just move on with my life. I don't know what else to do. I don't really have any other choice. But this was so fun to build. I might not even wait for comments. I might just start recording episodes. It was frustrating. It made me angry at times, but it was fun. Like, ultimately, I had fun and I enjoyed this. So I might just start recording episodes of these games again. I might start doing daily videos Monday through Friday. I think I can do it. I'm getting better at learning how to edit in ways that don't make me want to cry. So, speaking, okay, my ADHD brain is really on full display, but that painting right there, why does that feel so familiar to me? Like, almost nothing else. The bed right there, that blue bed right there, that feels very familiar too, but I recognize it as being a Sims 2 bed. That painting, though, I don't recognize that as being a Sims 2 painting, but it feels so familiar to me. Is that weird? It's almost a little bit like deja vu, but not really. It just, it feels so familiar. I feel like I've seen that other places before. Also, The Sims 2 is the first game where they focused on clutter objects. And so there were clutter objects to add in to the game. And I made sure to add a few in here and there. Because why not? That was another one of the differences between the original one and this one, was that I decided to add some clutter items in where I could as well. But yeah, I totally forgot what I was saying before, but it doesn't matter because we're pretty much done with the speed build now, and we can get into the walkthrough now because I just place a rug and that's it. There you go. Okay, so like I said, I don't know any cheats for these old games. Woo, my mouse does not work as well with this game as it did the other games. I'm not sure why. It's kind of a pain, actually. But anyways, as you can see from the outside, The only thing with the build itself that changed dramatically was I created this dormer up here, and this was always supposed to be here. You just can't do it as easily in The Sims 1, and I didn't even know how to attempt to try it without it looking really bad. So I just left it out of that one. But because they already have default preset, whatever you want to call them, where are they? Oh, yeah, and they have elevators in this one too. I don't know what I'm looking for here. Is it here? No. What am I looking for? Like, where do I find it? It's here somewhere. I know I saw it. You saw me playing with it, right? Dormers right there. Okay. Because they actually have dormer things in this game, I'm like, oh, I don't want to actually place that. I'm like, let's go ahead and add it in now, even though it wasn't there in the original build, because that's how it's supposed to look. That's what the inspiration picture has on it. As you can see, there isn't much you can do about the roof clipping thing here, because it's that I don't know of any cheats or anything that takes this edge part away, so it's not like I could build a partial roof like we do in The Sims 4. We build a roof to this point, and then we add another one in here, and then just take away that side thing without using cheats. That's what you get, and you really don't have a choice. I could have brought it all the way back, and maybe I should have, but yeah, I guess I didn't, and I didn't think of it when I rebuilt. So, anyways, enough of that. Here's the front yard. I try to keep things as fairly similar, but even the trees changed scale dramatically from the first game to this one. And then, of course, we have the car here. I placed it next to the mailbox because I thought the mailbox and the trash can not being lined up with the sidewalk feels weird. And so why not line it up with the driveway at least? And at least then, there's some method to that madness there. We've got the garden here, the shed, the little bench and table and planter right here. Let's go down to the first floor. It's pretty basic, although with this game you get more freedom to move around than the original Sims, so that's nice. But you got the living room here. Actually, let's partially put down these walls. Wait, oop, I can do it. I promise. There we go. So you've got the little living room here. Everything is basically, it's all the same furniture, more or less. A big TV, a bookcase, couch, couple of tables, coffee table, even the record player stereo thing. They just look different in this game. This is where you start to notice things get really different because we have this here. I put it here. And because we didn't have the collection display shelf to put out, I put this little setup instead. You know what I mean? Also, they changed the way that pet bowls look and work. So now it's just a single bowl. Your pets don't get to drink any water. They just don't. They have to live their lives dehydrated. They do get to eat food, and that's very much like the Sims 4, which I find annoying and odd, but maybe that's just me. Similar style bathroom, though again, we don't have the same options, so I had to match it as best as I could. Galley kitchen, again, we still don't have upper cabinets that I could find. Maybe if they're there, someone could point them out to me, but I couldn't find them. So we still don't have upper cabinets, but we do have some other stuff, and we've got more decor pieces like this right here. So that's really awesome. Similar feel to the dining room here and the back patio slash deck. Little garden here, the little maker shed here. And then if we go upstairs, we have the hallway again with the chest and the painting easel and the toy box. Some things have just remained very consistent all throughout the years, as some things just have not changed. We've got the kids' bedroom over here, the bigger, larger family bathroom, and I was finally able to put in my linen cabinet there that I wanted. And then we've got the parents' bedroom here. So there you have it. I think it turned out really good for not using cheats and for being in The Sims 2. This actually, like, I like this. I would totally play in this house. I really enjoyed it. And excuse me, mouse. I really enjoyed building it once I got past the frustrating parts. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it too. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.